open up the view, it does look like this will be heading towards Rio, over towards Esmond as well. Griffin, you are included in this tornado warning, as well as Williamson, Hampton, Locust Grove, all included. Portions of I-75 heading up towards McDonough. Again, this is a radar confirmed tornado, and I'm going to go ahead and put on the reflectivity, and you can actually kind of see we've been watching this line as it's made its way off to the east. So now moving through South Metro Atlanta, stretching down through parts of Coweta County and Meriwether County, and you can see that where we have that bow, a little bit of a bowing feature, that's where we're detecting that tornado.
Yeah, so basically what's happening here, Ebony, we have warm, humid air that's wrapping into this line. It's rising and it's twisting and turning, and that's where we're seeing that radar-confirmed tornado right now and that debris signature here in far northwestern parts of Spalding County. So meteorologist Ebony Dion, she's driving Storm Tracker 2 HD. It's going to be in this area right here where we have that tornado. Let's go back to the velocity mode, and we just got a new scan of Storm Tracker 2 HD, and it's going to be right in here. So just to the south of Brooks, right along this road here. Let's go ahead and get a little closer here. I want to point out this is Noonan Road. So this is Noonan Road just south of the Fayette County and Spalding County line. If you live along Noonan Road, if you live along Moon Road, if you live along Vaughn Road, this is in western parts of Spalding County. You need to be in that tornado safe place right now, the lowest level of your home. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Best place to go oftentimes is going to be a closet. It's going to be a bathroom. You want to get in the center of your house for this radar-confirmed tornado that is moving near Ellis Road, Moon Road. That's going to be Vaughn Road. This is right near Zatella. And Ebony, if we can zoom out a little bit, I want to pick up this road right here. This is just south of Noonan Road, and this is going to be Crowder Road. So if you're in this area, if you have friends and family in this area, you want to make sure they're in their tornado-safe place right now. We have a radar-confirmed tornado. It's basically sitting right on the Fayette Spalding County line, actually more into southeastern parts of Fayette County. So let's go a little closer here, pick up some of these roads here along Hardy Road, Parker Road, Ellis Road. These are places where you want to be in that tornado safe place right now. Ebony, can we go back over to the correlation coefficient? That's going to basically show us whether we're seeing lofted debris still. And there it is. This is most certainly a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. You need to be in that tornado safe place right now in Fayette County. This is along Hardy Road. That's where we're seeing that lofted debris. Where you see the pink, that's the radar sensing just rain. But where you start to see the yellow and that dropout in what we call the correlation coefficient, where you see now blue here, there is the debris signature now that's moving. Let's widen out that view just a little bit. That's moving out of Fayette County and into parts of Spalding County. So there it is. It's just off to the east of Brooks. It's going to be in this area right here where we have that tornado and we have that circulation. So let's come in close again, point out some of these roads, some of these places where you need to be in your safe place now. This is a radar confirmed tornado on the ground along McIntosh Road. This is going to be along Ellis Road. Here's Moon Road. This is Spalding County. Here is Fayette County to get you oriented where we are. And that's a dropout in our correlation coefficient. So what that's showing is debris lofted high up into the atmosphere. The radar is sensing that we're not just seeing rain, we're seeing that lofted debris, and it's going to be in this area here where we have that tornado on the ground now. So you need to be in your safe place. Ebony, let's zoom out the view a little bit, and let's put a storm track on this here for you, moving to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour.
Okay, and I'm just opening up the view in case you're just joining us and want to show you exactly where that tornado warning is. It does include a number of counties: Butts, Clayton, Coweta, Fayette, Henry, Meriwether, Pike, and Spalding. Now, not all of these counties, the entire area of the counties, but there are portions of northeastern areas of Meriwether County, southeastern Coweta County, and then that extends off to the east into Spalding County, into Henry County. So McDonough, Griffin, Sonoya, you are all included in this. And as we go a little bit closer in, Hampton as well. And so as we put a track on this, we can see some of the areas. Oh, Brian, you got it?
Yeah, I want to reset the view actually here just a little bit. Looks like we have a new tornado warning. Basically what's happened here in Coweta County and in far northeastern parts of Meriwether County, the tornado threat has passed you by. These storms are moving very quickly to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So at this point, Sonoy, you are past the tornado threat. In Meriwether County, we're past the tornado threat. But we remain in this active tornado warning in Fayette County, in Spalding County, in southwestern parts of Henry County. That includes Hampton and McDonough, where you need to be in your tornado safe place right now, and western parts of Butts County. So that's our active tornado warning. And Ebony, that's going to go until 8 o'clock, correct?
That is correct. And right now I'm just looking in chat to kind of see what the National Weather Service is seeing any additional things, and it's heading towards the intersection of West McIntosh Road and Vaughn Road, some of the roads that we actually have told you about, but we just want to go ahead and check from time to time to see if we see any kind of reports. And right now I'm not seeing anything other than this is a radar indicated tornado that we are seeing, and we've been watching this line as it moved in, and Brian was kind of looking at the velocity mode to see where that rotation was, and we were kind of watching it, and then a tornado warning has been issued, and we've also noticed some of that lofted debris within this as well, and that's what Brian is taking a look at now, the correlation coefficient, where we see the red, and then we see where we see a little bit of yellow and blue indicating where there's debris.
So Ebony, I have a time lapse on here. We're going to go back a few minutes. This is 7:27. I kind of want to track where we've watched this lofted debris. It started around Brooks Road. This is the Meadows, South Fayette County, and into northwestern parts of Spalding County. So just to the north of Noonan Road. So Ebony, let's fast forward this a little bit. Let's see if we can trace this lofted debris signature toward Moon Road, toward McIntosh Road, as it moved off to the east. So we're going forward to about 7:33. If we can bring it up to the current time right now, you can see that lofted debris signature is going to be moving in this direction right here. So it's right near Rio. Let's go ahead and slide that view up a little bit if we can, just along Vaughn Road, around Rio and Vaughn Road. This is where we have a lofted debris signature, a confirmed tornado here on the ground. This is headed toward Fayetteville Road, toward Vineyard Road, toward McIntosh Road. That's where we have a confirmed tornado on the ground. So if these roads sound familiar to you, if you live near these roads, I need you to be in that safe place right now. We're going to stay with you minute by minute as this tornado risk moves through. Let's go back to the velocity mode if we can. Ebony, pick up where that actual velocity signature is. And yeah, this gives us confirmation that this is, again, a continuing tornado touchdown here along Vaughn Road. Here's Rio and Fayetteville. So it's going to be in this area right here. Meteorologist Ebony Dion driving Storm Tracker 2 HD. What you're looking at right now in green, this is wind going back toward the radar. In red, this is wind going away from the radar. So you get that sense of circulation, and it's going to be right here along West McIntosh Road and Vaughn Road. Ebony, can we get a little closer here? Maybe pick up some of these smaller neighborhood roads here in this area here, right near Rio. So as we get a little closer, if you live along Salem Road, you need to be in that safe place right now. That's where we have a confirmed tornado on the ground near Vaughn School Road, New Salem Road. This is in western parts of Spalding County, right near Rio. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground. So what you need to do is, again, be in that lowest level of your home, as many walls between the outside and you as possible. We want you to be safe as this tornado, this storm that is producing a tornado on the ground in Spalding County. We want you to be in a safe place right now and let this threat pass by. So let's track where the rotation is, Ebony, and take it over time, the next half hour, 45 minutes. Let's give everybody a perspective of where this is going to be headed to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. These are going to be the places where you want to be in that tornado safe place right now. So there's the wider view. There's our rotation. Here's Henry County. Here's Fayette County. There's Spalding County. And there is the rotation. So there's our tornado that's on the ground right near Rio, near Vaughn Road, and near McIntosh Road. So if you're in that area, please be in that safe place right now. Meteorologist Ebony Dion drawing a storm track. This is headed into Sunnyside in about 6 minutes, Greenwood in about 16, Locust Grove coming up in about 18 minutes, and into Ola in about 26 minutes. This is a confirmed tornado, radar confirmed tornado. We're seeing the signs of the debris and the evidence of lofted debris on Storm Tracker 2 HD. And this is going to be moving towards Sunnyside, so moving into the north side of Spalding County, and then into the southern and central part of Henry County. So in McDonough, you've got about 15, 20 minutes or so before this storm gets to you. But I want you to be in that safe place right now. We're going to stay with you every step of the way as this storm that is producing a tornado moves toward Henry County, into McDonough in about 20 minutes, into Ola in about 26 minutes. Let's go back to our correlation coefficient, Ebony, if we can. Let's see if we're still seeing that lofted debris. And it's going to be in this general area right here, a little bit of a weaker signature now than we were seeing a little while ago. If we can come in a little close, I think it's going to be right in this area here, Ebony, where we would potentially have some debris. If we can go back just a little bit, let's go back maybe a couple of radar scans ago and see if we can track that here between Rio. Okay, there's our lofted debris near Rio, and this was at about 7:33. You're going to see it right there. Let's see if we can pick it up on the new scan, and we're not. Maybe in this area right here, a little less pronounced, but likely some lofted debris here just to the south of Birdie. So here's Rio, and that's where our lofted debris is, right near Birdie. So let's zoom in on this area right here. This is in just to the northwest side of Spalding County. This is going to be along Birdie Road, Elder Road, Vineyard Road, and Manley Road. This is where we're seeing that sign of lofted debris on Storm Tracker 2 HD. Again, that dropout in what we call our correlation coefficient. Basically, the way to think about this is it's a debris tracker. Where you're seeing just the pink, that's just rain. But when you see yellow, that's the radar sensing we're not just seeing rain lofted high up in the atmosphere. There's pieces of trees or roofing, things like that that have been lofted high up into the atmosphere. And that's what Storm Tracker 2 HD radar is picking up here along Fayetteville Road, Vineyard Road. You can see that purple there, maybe some hail as well, right over Birdie and right along Elder Road. So this is going to be moving into Sunnyside. So if you're watching us right now in Sunnyside, you're in South Henry County and North Spalding County, please get to your safe place right now. Again, you can take your phone with you. You can stream us. We're streaming live on our app right now. I'm going to stay with you along with meteorologist Ebony Dion every step of the way as this radar confirmed tornado moves out of Spalding County and into South Henry County. Ebony.
And Brian, I just wanted to go ahead and reset the view in case people are just joining us to let you know what we are tracking. And it is a tornado warning that started moving in with this line that we've been kind of monitoring really throughout the morning since it developed well to the west. And now that it has made its way off to the east, we're starting to see some kinks within that line. And meteorologist Brian Monahan went ahead and started noticing that there was some rotation, and that is what we notice on our velocity mode. And so we put that in motion, and you can see it's not quite as pronounced as what we were first watching it, but you can still see where the red and green are coming together here. And we've been telling you where this radar tornado has been tracking, and right along Birdie Road is where we're seeing it now, heading over towards Caruso, Pomona, Baptist Camp Road. If you are in these areas, seek shelter now.
Ebony, just checking with the National Weather Service. Again, they're seeing what we're seeing, still seeing that lofted debris. So this is still likely a tornado on the ground. Pardon me. This is going to be along Elder Road and Birdie Road. So if you live near Caruso, Pomona, along Baptist Camp Road, I need you to be in that safe place right now. I want to remind you on our WSB-TV weather app, on our news app, I hope you have those on your phone. You're going to your safe place now. Open up the app. You're going to be able to live stream our coverage live there. I want you to be in a safe place in your home. And if that's away from the TV, again, you can continue to follow us here on your phone as we track this tornado-warned storm that's coming out of Elder Road, Birdie Road, and this is going to move toward Caruso. So if you're in this area here in north parts of Spalding County, eventually this is headed into Sunnyside. You've got just a few minutes, just a couple of minutes to get to that safe place as we watch this tornado-warned storm. What you're looking at here in green, that's wind going in this direction. In red, that's wind going in this direction. So our rotation is going to be right over Patterson Road. And here's our updated sweep of Storm Tracker 2 HD. Ebony, it looks like we've seen that rotation now move a little farther to the north. This is right over Caruso. If we can zoom in a little closer, I want to pick up what road this is right here.
Georgia Highway.
Caruso Highway, it looks like.
Georgia Highway, it looks like.
Georgia Highway in Caruso. So this is where we're seeing that rotation now along Kilgore Road. This is where you need to be in that safe place. This tornado risk is passing us by. This confirmed tornado on the ground is passing us by right now in North Spalding County, right around Caruso. And this is moving up towards Sunnyside. So that's where our rotation is right now. And that's where we're seeing the lofted debris and that signature on Storm Tracker 2 HD of a confirmed tornado here on our radar. So this is going to be along Pomona Road. If you live in this area near Caruso in North Spalding County, you need to be in a safe shelter, sturdy shelter right now as this tornado-warned storm tracks to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So let's zoom back out the view a little bit. Let's get an updated track here and how much time we had to prepare as this storm moves right over Sunnyside and Caruso. This is going to be up toward Locust Grove, toward Hampton, eventually into McDonough. So it's going to be basically along 75 near McDonough, southward in Henry County, where I need you to be in that safe place right now and away from any windows. Now is not the time to look outside and see what's happening. We're going to track this storm with you minute by minute. And one thing I want you to keep in mind, this tornado is likely obscured. It's wrapped by rain, so you're not going to see it. This is why it's especially dangerous situation as this storm here in the morning rush hour makes its way right toward I-75. So Ebony's drawing a new storm track here. There's the rotation. Here's Spalding County. Here's South Henry County. There's Hampton, Atlanta Motor Speedway right in this area. So this storm is tracking just to the south of Atlanta Motor Speedway headed toward Luella. That's coming up in about 6 minutes. Greenwood coming up in about 9 minutes and into McDonough in about 13 minutes. So if you live in these towns, if you live near these towns, basically from McDonough and draw a line to the south and west. If you're in this polygon, this track that we have drawn on there, you need to be in that tornado safe place right now. We're watching this storm that is producing a radar confirmed tornado. It's been on the ground for a while. And let's go back to our correlation coefficient. Let's see if we're still picking up that lofted debris signature. And we are. So really, Ebony, we're going now over maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. We've seen lofted debris. So this potentially could be a significant tornado touchdown here in North Spalding County. We're keeping an eye out for any damage reports right now, but we need to be in that safe place. It's a very serious situation. If you're along Baptist Camp Road, Tiemann Road, Boynton Road, just near and to the east of Caruso, Pomona, and Sunnyside, this is where we're seeing that dropout in the correlation coefficient, that dropout in our debris tracker, and where you see the yellow and green, and that change from red, that's where in this general area, Storm Tracker 2 HD is picking up on lofted debris. Ebony, are we getting any damage reports yet?
None yet, but we do have a tower cam out of Hampton that we want to see, and maybe we could pull that up just to kind of see what conditions look like nearby. It looks like the tornado is just to the south of Hampton, but Hampton, you are under a tornado warning at this time, including Locust Grove as well as the McDonough area. So if we could possibly get that camera up, if not, that's fine. We are seeing the correlation coefficient will be okay. No worries. Our producer had just told us about a camera in Hampton, but that's okay at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But now we're starting to see that lofted debris signature that we've been watching moving. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit more closely and see some of the streets that are included. And again, Baptist Camp Road, Tiemann Road, you were included in that area where we could see some possible debris. Again, this is a confirmed radar indicated tornado that is still on the ground heading towards Cole Reservoir. So if you know anyone that lives in that area, if you're nearby, you want to make sure that you are in your safe spot. Luella is definitely in the path of that. Let's open up the view a little bit more. And Brian, you want to?
Yeah, I just want to
put a track on it.
Point out again that lofted debris signature here. It's a little less pronounced, Ebony. I've been noticing that here in the last couple of scans. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Hopefully that continues. See, you're going to see right here, kind of a donut hole right there. And as we go forward in time, you see that become a little less obvious. So hopefully that's a sign that this tornado is starting to weaken as it moves out of Spalding County and gets ready to move into South Henry County. So in Hampton, this is going to miss you to the south and to the east. But Locust Grove into McDonough, basically between McDonough and Locust Grove, kind of tracking this out, this is moving right toward Luella. So if you're in far south Henry County, up to about the McDonough area, you need to be in that safe place right now. Again, just to remind you, a basement is best. I don't have a basement in my house, and you're going to be okay if you don't have a basement. You're going to pick that interior room in the lowest level of your house, away from any windows, away from any areas where you could potentially be impacted by flying debris. And it doesn't take much to break windows and potentially injure you and hurt you, and we don't want that to happen. So we want you to be in that interior room. And Ebony, as we look at this updated velocity scan here of Storm Tracker 2 HD radar, some good signs here. This is 7:45 in the morning. We're on the air for a confirmed tornado warning. And Ebony, we're starting to see a lot less organization of this rotation. It's broadening out. Earlier this morning, maybe about 20 minutes or so ago, we were seeing the green directly next to the red. That was some strong rotation we were seeing when this storm initially produced a tornado. We're not quite seeing that anymore, but still some broad, more weak rotation now. This is right around Luella. So this confirmed tornado is right near Luella, right along Highway 155. So here's the Henry-Spalding County line. This is now into Henry County along Trestle Road in Luella. Here's Highway 155. There's Heron Bay Boulevard and Frog Road and Lester Mill Road. So in and around Luella, if you are near any of these areas, you need to be in that tornado safe place right now. Behind this storm, the tornado threat has passed by. So it's come to an end at this point over most of Spalding County, certainly back to Meriwether and Fayette County. Our focus now is on the Henry County part of this line and Henry County part of this storm that's developed along this intense Boeing squall line here. There's McDonough. Here's I-75. And Ebony, this is going to be approaching I-75 near or just to the north of Locust Grove coming up over the next maybe 5 minutes or so. So if we could do a new storm track on this, let's give everybody an idea of how long we've got until this gets to Locust Grove, this area between McDonough and Locust Grove. And that's coming up basically in the next couple of minutes. Beyond that, into Ola in about 11 minutes, Spring Hill in about 25, and Lassiter, again, this is not Cobb County Lassiter, this is down in Henry County. Lassiter in about 28 minutes. So in the next few minutes, this tornado warned storm is going to move just past the edge of the active tornado warning, the active confirmed tornado warning. We'll see if that warning is extended in space, in area, and in time here shortly. But right now, again, Ebony, we're seeing a little less pronounced rotation here just to the northwest of Locust Grove. So if we can come in close, I want to show you some of the roads here that are in this area where there's more broad circulation right now. That's going to be along Bill Gardner Road. Here's Highway 185. There's Bill Gardner Parkway, I should say, Lester Mill Road. And this is where we're seeing the broad rotation and the possibility of a continuing tornado touchdown here and a tornado on the ground near and just to the east of Highway 185. Here's Luella. Here's Bill Gardner Parkway. Over here, this is going to be Lester Mill Road. And there is our broad rotation. Again, not as significant as it was, say, about 15, 20 minutes ago when this tornado warning was first issued, but still seeing that rotation. And as we take a look at the correlation coefficient, I want to see, Ebony, maybe we can still pick up whether there is still debris being lofted or perhaps we're not seeing that signature anymore. And as we look at that correlation coefficient for you right now, maybe widen the view out a little bit, much less pronounced now. So that's a good sign here. We were seeing a very clear sign of debris lofted as this was moving over Spalding County. And now as this has moved up and over Henry County, not seeing that donut hole right there. That's where there was lofted debris. We're not quite seeing that signature now as this approaches I-75. I still need you to be in that safe place, but hopefully this is a sign that this storm is weakening and will continue to weaken as it approaches I-75 between Locust Grove and McDonough. Ebony.
And Brian, I'm going to go ahead and scrub this back as well, because when we first started noticing the rotation, you can see how the red and green off to the far left of your screen were pretty close together. But as the storm has made its way off to the north and east, it's been moving at a pretty good clip around 45 miles per hour to the north and east. You can see it kind of loses some of that. And so right now we're tracking some broad rotation, but there is still an indication that we are still possibly dealing with a tornado on the ground. So that is why we're going to stay with you until this warning either expires or gets dropped. So I'm going to get in really, really close. It's hard to sometimes see some of the streets, but as we get in really close and we're seeing some of the streets, Harris Drive, Highway 42, Price Drive, Bethlehem Road, Lester Mill Road, Highway 42 again, Davis Lake Road. You are all in the path of this storm. So I want to make sure that if you hear one of these street names and you're familiar with this.
Hey, Ebony, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can we go to the traffic computer and can we pull up 75? Mike Shields, and Mike, if we could actually, can we turn Mike's microphone on so we can kind of get a perspective of what we're looking here? Triple team traffic, Mike Shields. This is 75 in Henry County, right?
This is the Bethlehem Road overpass over I-75. So this is right where you're tracking, and you can see where the heavy rain, the wind just whipping across I-75 right now, Brian.
Yeah, if we're going to try to get that camera up for you here. This is it. This is 75. Mike just said it. North Bethlehem Road. This is right in the area where we have that rotation moving across. You can see the traffic here, Mike, if your microphone's still up. That is stopped. What lanes are we looking at there? If you can give us some perspective here, as Mike Shields, Triple Team Traffic, is showing us this confirmed tornado, this tornado-warned storm, live for you on Channel 2. You're looking in Henry County. This is along I-75. You're looking northbound at mile marker 213. This is the area, and you can see those sheets of rain blowing at us right now as we look live at this camera at 75. Lots of brake lights there, Mike.
Yep.
And this is the area where we're seeing that rotation right now.
So this is right at Bethlehem Road over I-75. So this is going to be between Bill Gardner Parkway and Highway 155 there in Henry County. So between McDonough and Locust Grove. And you see I-75 northbound appears to be coming to a complete stop right now. And Brian, we've been watching this camera, and it's been very hard to see. We've seen the rain really pick up, the winds pick up, and traffic coming to a stop right now. Very dangerous situation unfolding here in Henry County on I-75.
Mike Shields, thank you so much for that. Always a team effort here. Really appreciate you finding that camera. Looks like we're spinning it around right now and spinning it back. I think we're going to be looking now perhaps southbound along 75, but this is 75 at near Bill Gardner Parkway, and kind of keeping an eye out for what's happened there. And we watched in real time go from rotating sheets of rain across 75 to now a much calmer and quieter situation. So can we come back to Storm Tracker 2 HD? Let's get another look here at where the rotation is and whether it's weakened a bit as it's crossed over I-75. So here's our confirmed tornado warning. This is going to go until 8 o'clock. We're going to continue to check with the Weather Service and see if that warning is going to be continued. And here we go. Let's come in close right about there, Ebony, right along I-75 between McDonough and Locust Grove, and kind of a weakness, what we call it here in the velocity field, but certainly a sign there that that is what we just watched, what we just showed you. Triple Team Traffic's Mike Shields giving us that view from Traffic Tracker 2 as this confirmed tornado moved across I-75, and now that threat is moving just off to the east of 75, and overall a significant drop in any signs of rotation. So that's some good news here. Certainly some really strong wind. And we're going to watch this as this continues to move to the east. And Ebony, new information here. Looks like we're continuing that tornado warning.
So the rotation has gotten a little bit weaker, but it's still definitely indicated here on radar. So that tornado warning has been extended for southeastern Henry County, and that will now go until 8:15. So we will be here with you tracking it until this threat diminishes. But Henry County, the southeastern portion of Henry County, you are still under tornado warning until 8:15.
All right, so resetting things here in that tornado warning, we're going to stay with you here as this storm that has a history of producing a tornado. We showed you it as it crossed over I-75 near Bill Gardner Parkway in just a couple of minutes ago, really brought the traffic to a standstill, kind of a scary situation certainly there. We're seeing the area of rotation we've been watching that produced a confirmed tornado now move out of the confirmed tornado warning. But now we have an additional tornado warning that's going to go until 8:15, and that extends essentially to the Henry County line. So in Spalding County, the tornado risk has passed you by. That is over with in Spalding County. Our focus is going to be on Henry County near I-75 and to the east of I-75. So you're looking at our storm relative velocity mode. Ebony, can we go over to the actual just velocity mode of Storm Tracker 2 HD? I want to get a sense for some of the wind Storm Tracker 2 HD radar is picking up with this. If we can query some of those spots here between Blacksville and Unity Grove and Ola, picking up winds. Now, this is a bit above the ground, but picking up winds 40, 50 miles per hour. So whether we're seeing a little less rotation or not, this is still going to have some powerful wind gusts here as this moves through Henry County, certainly capable of bringing down trees and power lines. But as we go back to the storm relative velocity, let's see if we can pick up the rotation, and really not seeing much right now between Unity Grove and Ola. It would be in this general area here. If we're going to see this tornado spin back up, it's going to be in this area here near Ola Road, near Laney Road, near New Hope Road. So these are areas near McDonough, near Locust Grove, to the eastern side of Henry County, where I want you to be in that tornado safe place right now. Again, to remind you, that's the lowest level of your home, away from any windows. Tornadoes can basically fling debris at your windows, your exterior walls at 75, 80, 85 miles per hour. I was able to show you that last week from the tornado in Noonan and Coweta County, and we want you to be safe from that. So we want you to be in the centermost part of your house right now in central and eastern parts of Henry County as this tornado warned storm continues. So if you live near Laney Court, near Laney Road, this is going to be Ola Road and New Hope Drive and Keys Ferry Road. These are areas that are in the path of this storm that has had a history of producing a tornado. We were able to show it to you live on Channel 2 by way of a traffic camera along I-75 and lofted debris on Storm Tracker 2 HD. So, Ebony, if we can, let's do a storm track from this general area where we could see that rotation redevelop, and that's why the tornado warnings continue. We'll push it to the east and north at about 45 miles per hour. So some towns, some neighborhoods that are in the path of this storm with a history of producing a tornado touchdown, and one that was on the ground likely for a while, for several minutes, into Ola in about 3 minutes, Leadmore in about 9 minutes, Lassiter in 19 minutes, and into Mansfield in 27 minutes. If you live in these towns, if you live near these towns, we're going to get through this storm together. We're going to be with you every step of the way, but I want you to be in that safe place right now. So if you're in these areas, don't go outside. Don't look outside. That's not safe. We want you to be inside. Don't get on the road now. Stay inside, stay at home, and stay with us as this tornado risk passes by near Ola, near Leadmore, moving away from McDonough and Locust Grove, and now moving to the eastern part of Henry County. So might, Ebony, be seeing maybe the attempt here at a little rotation developing again here just to the northeast of Unity Grove. So it's going to be in this area here near Laney Road and Laney Court. A little bit of weak, what we call inbound velocity. That's wind going, outbound, wind going in this direction and wind going in this direction. So a little bit of rotation showing up here again near Ola Road and Laney Road. And because this storm has a history of producing a tornado, that possibility of it spinning one back up at any time. So watching this carefully as this moves toward Keys Ferry Road. Ola, I need you in that safe place right now, especially on the south side of Ola along Ola Road. That's where we're seeing this rotation with this tornado-warned storm that's going to continue in Henry County until 8:15. We're, of course, going to keep an eye out for any extensions farther to the east. Now, with no lofted debris, at least for the time being, we're going to come back and check in on this. Let's widen out the view a little bit, Ebony, maybe give a wider perspective here across North Georgia of what's happening, because I don't want anybody to be left out here as we track this last hour or two of severe weather risk moving across North Georgia. So here's a reflectivity of Storm Tracker 2 HD. Northwest Georgia, we're done with any severe weather risk, done with much in the way of rain for the rest of the way today. In and around
The Scott Antique Markets are back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285, exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit scottantiquemarkets.com for more information.
Travel to a world filled with fantasy, adventure, treasures, and turkey legs. We're celebrating 40 years of Cheers at the Georgia Renaissance Festival every weekend, April 12th through June 1st. Get your tickets now at garenfest.com.
Wait, where's Dad?
Huzzah! Huzzah!
1 in 5 kids in the U.S. aren't sure where their next meal is coming from. But the Kroger Company is changing that by giving fresh food to those in need. Since 2017, our Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program and foundations have invested in our communities by donating enough to give 10 meals to everyone in the U.S. That's 3 billion meals so far. We can do more with your help. Round up your purchase at checkout, and together we can help our neighbors in need. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
I'm April Rogers of the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning. For help finding a safe, high-quality summer camp for your child, please use the resources you see in this ad. We developed them to serve your needs.
The Scott Antique Markets are back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285, exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit scottantiquemarkets.com for more information.
If it's happening, it's on 2. Channel 2 Action News this morning. I'm Fred Blankenship.
And I'm Lori Wilson. Georgia weather is always changing.
We give you the most accurate forecast and more. Meteorologist Brian Monahan covers it all with weather in a minute, hour by hour for the day.
You have a camera view of where we're seeing this rotation move across right now.
Yeah, it's very similar to what we saw just a few minutes ago, Brian, as we saw that confirmed radar tornado cross over I-75. You're looking at South and North Ola Road right at Highway 81. So if you live in this area, this is right by Publix. This is right by that big shopping center. I've been watching this camera, and what we saw was the heavy rainfall. The wind start whipping, and the visibility became very hard to see there in the last few minutes, and things quickly starting to ease up there. So this seems to be moving pretty quickly, Brian and Ebony, but this is right by where you're tracking right now, South and North Ola Road, right at Highway 81.
Mike, thank you for that information. Thank you for staying on top of it. Mike Shields, Triple Team Traffic, continued to watch those traffic cameras for us, and was able to show us just about 5 minutes ago this tornado-warned storm as it crossed I-75 as we watch this move between Locust Grove and McDonough. So is Ebony Dion, meteorologist Ebony Dion here along with me here in Severe Weather Center 2, driving Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. A little less rotation here. It continues to be much broader than it was a little while ago. That is a good sign. We want that to continue. Ultimately, we want this rotation to completely fall apart, but we're going to stay with you as long as this tornado risk continues in eastern parts of Henry County. And it's going to be in this area right here near Leadmore Shoals Road, near Stroud Road. Here's Cody Road. This is just near and outside the edge of the tornado warning. There's the eastern side of this polygon here in eastern parts of Henry County, but near Wynn Road and Stroud Road. In this area here, where this storm is capable of continuing to produce a tornado or dropping an additional tornado touchdown along Woodstown Road, Stroud Road. I need you to be in that safe place right now as this tornado risk continues. Ebony, if we can, let's take a look at the correlation coefficient again, our debris tracker, and not seeing any signs of that donut hole that often appears when we see a confirmed tornado, a radar confirmed tornado that shows us debris right above an area of rotation. We're not seeing that, so that's a good sign. We're going to hope that continues. So no signs of a tornado on the ground right now, but we need to treat this as one. And the reason for that, it has a history of producing confirmed tornado touchdowns over the last half hour or so. Ebony's doing a query here on our velocity mode of Storm Tracker 2 HD. Just taking a peek. We're looking a couple thousand feet above the ground here. So this is a look at what the winds are doing just above the ground at up to about 50 miles per hour. Let's say about 80% of that wind can translate to the ground in a heavier thunderstorm. So maybe 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts in this area in eastern Henry County along Stroud Road, along Cody Road, and Leadmore Shoals Road. And these are the area, or Leland Shoals Road, I should say, near Leadmore. And these are the areas we're going to continue to watch for the possibility of a tornado touchdown. But Ebony, right now, as we go back to the velocity mode and kind of reset the view, meteorologist Ebony Dion resetting the view. And Ebony, new information here. We have the tornado warning where the storm is just about to move out of the tornado warning. That's going to expire at 8:15, but it looks like the Weather Service going severe thunderstorm warning now for Covington and Newborn. And these are areas that are in the path of this storm that has a history of producing a confirmed tornado.
That is correct. The area outlined in yellow, now a severe thunderstorm warning where our tornado warned storm is moving in that direction. This severe thunderstorm warning will go until 8:45, and it includes Morgan, parts of east central Henry County, Walton County, Butts County, Jasper, and Newton County. So although you are not under tornado warning, a tornado is possible because this is the same storm that we've been watching, that rotation kind of weakening but still kind of holding together back into Henry County. So within this area of severe thunderstorm warning, we're dealing with the heavy downpours, but then also that possibility of a tornado. But even if there's no tornado, the winds are very strong. So we're keeping you up to date on that as well. As we go in a little bit closer, here are some of the streets that are included where we are seeing that leading edge of that possible tornado, that we are now starting to see some of that rotation kind of moving out of Henry County. And this is around the Leadmore area, Shoals Road, Highway 212, around Riverside, just to the south of you, Hollow Oaks, Fincher Farms. You're going to be in the path of that as well. So we're getting a close-up view of where we are seeing that very now weak rotation, and it's between Fincherville as well as Leadmore.
Yeah, Ebony, just about to move out of our tornado warning polygon. You can just make it out right there. So here's the area that has a history of producing a tornado touchdown, one that was likely on the ground for several minutes over parts of Spalding County and South Henry County. Of course, we told you about it as soon as we saw it, and now that rotation has just moved to the east of Leadmore, so just leaving this tornado warning and moving into the new severe thunderstorm warning where a tornado remains possible. And going to be in this area here just to the southwest of Hollow Oaks, where if this does spin back up, and it's right near, it looks like Leland Shoals Road, just near Highway 212. Here's Hollow Oaks, here's Fincher Farms, and this is going to be crossing the Henry County line and making its way over toward parts of Newton County, Butts County, keeping an eye on this storm as it moves to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So meteorologist Ebony Dion zooming in really close. Let's get a good perspective here of where this rotation is showing up above the ground along Cobblestone Lane. There is Shoals Road, and this is making its way across the county line and out of Henry County this morning and making its way to the east. So Ebony, if we can widen the view out a little bit, maybe do a storm track from where this rotation is just off to the east of Leadmore. So this is going to be moving into southern parts of Henry County, or southern parts of Newton County, I should say, and far northern Butts County. Here's Newborn, here's Covington. This is going to pass just to the south of Covington and move into Lassiter in about 7 minutes, Mansfield in 15 minutes, Newborn in 18, and coming into Rutledge in about 28 minutes. So while this is moving into a severe thunderstorm warning, I want you to treat this as though it's a tornado warning. And the reason I say that is this storm has a history of producing a tornado that was on the ground for several minutes. It continues to show signs of rotation. So if you're in Lassiter, if you're in Newborn, if you're in Rutledge, best plan right now, our game plan right now is to not get on the road, delay your trip to work, wherever you got to go, just hang out at home for a little bit and get into that interior room, lowest level of your home as we watch this storm pass by. It's only going to take about a half hour for this to kind of clear on out of our severe thunderstorm warning polygon here in Newton County. So we're just going to hang out a little bit here and let this danger pass by as this moves out of Henry County and into Newton County. So here's Covington, here's I-20. This storm is going to pass just to the south of I-20. And Ebony, as we get the new scan here of Storm Tracker 2 HD, really seeing not much of rotation there. And it appears, and if you can confirm this, Ebony, our tornado warning was just allowed to expire.
It has been allowed to expire, and right now we do just have the severe thunderstorm warning that includes Covington as well as Newborn. That will go until 8:45. And so we're still going to be monitoring this for the possibility of a spin-up tornado, but that rotation has weakened quite a bit. Lots of wind with this storm. So although we might not see a tornado, we are dealing with very strong wind gusts, maybe upwards to about 60 miles per hour within the storm. And so as we get a closer look at some of the areas included in this, Rutledge, you were included, and this is the area here that we've been watching. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a little bit closer in. This is the area that we've been watching for that rotation, and it definitely does not look as impressive as it did when we first came on the air with the tornado warning. So that rotation has weakened quite a bit. So now we're dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning, and it does include some of these areas that I will list for you. Hollow Oaks, Creekwood Estates, Spring Hill, Porterdale, Newborn, Avalon, all within that severe thunderstorm warning. And again, with this storm, now the focus is more so for those strong straight line winds.
Yeah, and that possibility, Ebony, for 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And here's why that's especially important on a day like this. We were talking about this throughout the morning on Channel 2 Action News this morning. We've had 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches of rain. We've had additional heavy rain this morning. The soil, the ground is saturated. It doesn't take 60 mile per hour wind necessarily to bring down trees and bring down power lines. 40 or 50 mile per hour winds could knock out your power, could bring down trees and cause significant damage. So that's that straight line wind damage threat that's going to continue to evolve here in this severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Newton County, around Covington, Newborn, eventually up toward Rutledge. Here's Morgan County. And you're in line for this storm that has a history of producing a tornado. Right now, no active tornado warnings, but we're keeping a very close eye on this as this moves off to the east. Ebony, if we can, I want to take a look a little closer here before we go back to regular programming. I want to take a little closer look here at this inflow notch. This is in northern parts of Newton County. Here's Oxford, here's Covington. Basically what's happening is warm and humid air is wrapping into this line, and what can happen is that rotation that can be lofted higher into the thunderstorm and eventually produce a rotating thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Now, we're not seeing any rotation right now, not seeing any red on this particular view, but we do have some very strong straight line winds certainly possible with this near Oxford, near Covington, near Porterdale. So this is in Newton County, and this is going to be right along I-20. So some very heavy rain falling there. In fact, Triple Team Traffic's Mike Shields with us. I'm peeking in the traffic center right now. When we can, I know we have a view right now of I-20 at Turner Lake Road. This is in Newton County, so this is going to be right in the heart of this thunderstorm that we're going to watch closely for the possibility of some additional rotation and additional severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado developing. I'm being told we do have that camera we can go to right now. And to tell you a little bit more about exactly where we're looking, again, this is the advantage of having Triple Team Traffic's Mike Shields, his expertise here with us this morning, pinpointing these locations where we're seeing these severe thunderstorms moving through. Mike.
Yeah, Brian, this is right in Covington. So this is I-20 right at Turner Lake Road, right at downtown Covington. And you see visibility is just very tough right now. And been watching this, trying to get ahead of what you and Ebony have been tracking. And definitely seen the conditions change within the last few minutes. Was light rain, now heavy rain. The wind's been disgusting across I-20. Very hard to drive in these conditions, so please stay off the roads if you can. But this is a live view, a traffic tracker 2 of I-20 right at Turner Lake Road in Covington and Newton County, Brian.
Mike Shields, thank you very much for that. I know Mike keeping an eye on the cameras as these severe thunderstorms move on through. Again, watching closely Newton County, storms down to parts of Butts County. This is kind of the last part of this system that has a real severe weather risk coming through with it, and it's kicking up here on our eastern counties. So let's say our severe weather threats, just to kind of set things up here over the next hour or two, they're going to continue over Walton County, Newton County, Jasper and Putnam counties. We'll be watching the radar carefully for you over the next couple of hours, and down toward Barnesville and Thomaston. A severe weather risk continues there. Behind this line, rain will continue off and on, but our severe weather risks are over. That includes Atlanta. That includes the airport area, Noonan, LaGrange. Some rain continues, but the severe weather risks are over, and continuing to monitor an active severe thunderstorm warning now. This is in Walton County and Newton County. A confirmed tornado, radar confirmed. We saw debris on Storm Tracker 2 HD. This storm has a history of producing a tornado. Meteorologist Ebony Dion and I are going to be watching it carefully. We will break in immediately if there are any additional tornado warnings. So what we're going to do right now at 8:12, we're going to go back to regular programming. That's Good Morning America. We're also going to continue our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage, streaming live for you. That is on our WSB-TV apps, and we can hope you join us there as we continue to track these storms moving through. Stay safe. We're going to continue to watch these storms.
This morning, Severe Weather Team 2 is tracking the rain. You are looking live at Storm Tracker 2 HD radar on the right of your screen, downtown Atlanta and Cobb County. We are checking in with meteorologists Brian Monahan and Ebony Dion. They just took you through a tornado warning and then a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll also check in with Mike Shields. You see the roads are pretty terrible right now. We'll have all of that for you in less than 5 minutes.